Let's talk a little bit about the most admired men and women from Gallup. They did a poll. I think they do a poll every year on this. So first of all, let's go to the most admired men. We'll start from the bottom and work up here. Jimmy Carter got 1%. Mitt Romney, 1%. I don't even know why he got that much. I mean, think if Mitt Romney and Jimmy Carter are tied. Mitt Romney, of course, best known for shipping good middle-class jobs in America overseas. And being a predatory capitalist who made money off other people's miseries. He would do leverage buyouts where he would say, we're going to help you, whatever company it is. And then he would borrow money from his buddies, and eventually the company would go under and he would just pocket millions of dollars off of failing at what he did. Yeah, that guy is tied with Jimmy Carter, who goes around the world and tries to save lives in third world nations by introducing them to modern technology and medicine. Yeah, that's sad. Ted Cruz got 1%. Don't even get me started. I could go for hours on that. Ron Paul got 1%. Clint Eastwood got 1%. Clint Eastwood. I got nothing against Clint Eastwood, but the dude's an actor. He's one of the most admired people. He's an actor. He pretends for a living. All right. Again, I could go on, but I'll move forward. Bill Gates, 1%. That makes sense. He's got this great vaccine program where he goes around the world, spends so much of his own money to try to cure people in third world nations. Reverend Billy Graham got 2%. Hate-filled bigot Reverend Billy Graham. Bill Clinton got 2%. Pope Francis got 4%. All right, you ready for this? So tied for the second place spot is Pope Francis, 4%. And George W. Bush, 4%. Yes, George W. Bush, according to Gallup, from this poll, is the second most admired man in America. Oh my goodness, the United States may be legally retarded. No, that's stunning. Here we have a president that got us into two wars that nobody likes. And that's not me saying that. That's the polls that say that the American people don't like the wars. So we're in wars that nobody likes, that he got us into, blew over $7 trillion when all is said and done by 2053 when you calculate the interest and whatnot, killed hundreds of thousands of civilians overseas, got us into the Great Recession through his deregulatory policies and cutting taxes for the rich, had no idea what he was doing. Dick Cheney was the one really running the show. This guy can't form a coherent sentence, and this guy is the second most admired man in America. I'm losing faith for humanity as I continue here. And the number one most admired is Barack Obama with 16%. He had gotten like 30% the previous year. He's won the past like 8 years or something crazy like that. Yay, first black president, happy about that. He's done some good things. Obamacare comes to mind. No, not the most admired. The NSA has gotten worse under him. He's increased spying on us by a tremendous amount. The drone strikes overseas have gotten worse. They're happening in greater numbers, and we're killing more civilians. They have a 98% failure rate. We're still in Afghanistan. We're supposed to stay there for another 11 years. No, just no. No. You can't have somebody, call predator drone strikes and get the Nobel Peace Prize, which he did, and also say he's the most admired man in America. That's insanity. There's people who are like curing diseases and whatnot. Those people should be more admired. All right, now, let's get to the women. Queen Elizabeth II. In her life, she's done nothing. She got 1%. Duchess Kate. Same thing as the Queen. You're popping out fake royal kids because royalty isn't a real thing. It's all a mental process of people in a society who pretend like you're special when you're not. She got 1%. Angelina Jolie got 1%. Angela Merkel got 1%. Condoleezza Rice got 2%. Malala Yousafzai got 2%. It's kind of disgusting that Condoleezza Rice is tied with Malala Yousafzai. Yeah, no, you can't do that. She got shot in the face by the Taliban, and then she stood up to them afterwards and said, yeah, you guys are scared of me, and my ideas are going to beat yours any day because I'm in favor of education and equality, and if you're against that, you're an idiot. And she told President Obama to his face, yeah, your drone strikes are actually making terrorism worse. I just want to let you know that. So it's probably a good idea to reverse policy on that. I mean, she's so special, words can't even describe. But, ready for this? Ahead of Malala, Sarah Palin got 5%. There's no hope. There's no hope in the world. When Sarah Palin beats out Malala, Sarah Palin beat out Malala for more admired, people admire Sarah Palin more than Malala. Insert your own commentary here. I'm too angry to even give my own commentary. That tells you a thing or two about how ridiculous that is. We have Michelle Obama with 5%, tied with Sarah Palin. Oprah Winfrey 6%, and number one Hillary Clinton 15%. Yeah, I could say a lot. I won't. But here's an idea. How about for the most admired people? These are some that come to my mind. Glenn Greenwald. Yes, Glenn Greenwald, this brave journalist actually standing up to the establishment all around the world and the status quo and all the corrupt people and divulging the facts, which is his job and what all of media is supposed to do, but he's one of the few who actually does it. Him and Jeremy Scahill, for example, are the exception to the rule. We have Elizabeth Warren would have been a better pick, somebody who actually fights for the middle class and the American people and cares about them, actually cares, wants to expand Social Security and Medicare, make it so that the government isn't fucking you over. They actually should give you something for the money you pay in taxes. She didn't get mentioned. Chelsea Manning, no mention whatsoever, even though Chelsea Manning is an absolute hero. Let us know our government was killing innocent civilians nonchalantly overseas and said, hey, you might want to do something to stop this. This is what they're doing with your tax dollars. We're all responsible for this. So here. They said this is supposed to be classified, but they're just hiding behind that. They have no reason to make this classified, so I'm releasing it. Chelsea Manning, an absolute hero, no mention. Edward Snowden, no mention. The person who's almost single-handedly trying to save the Fourth Amendment. I mean, protection from unreasonable search and seizure. That's exactly what the government is doing with the NSA. No mention. Matt Damon, for example, I know that sounds kind of silly, but he's got this water.org initiative where he's doing something similar to what Jimmy Carter does. Jimmy Carter went around with filters that are stopping people in third world countries from getting parasites from the water and dying young. Well, Matt Damon is just trying to get fresh water to all these different places, and that's going to flat out save lives. Investing his time, his energy, his money, and all this stuff. These are all people who honestly they're more respectable. I mean, the only person on this list that I think you could even make an argument for as being respectable, Jimmy Carter, of course, President Obama, but he should be way down on the list because he's done, with the NSA thing and the civil liberties abuses and the drones and the wars continuing. And what else? I mean, Pope Francis, there's a stretch of an argument. He's kind of pushing the church back in the smarter direction. And Malala. Everybody else, it's like the typical answers people give when they haven't thought through it.